Hi, and welcome back to the channel. We are continuing The Legend of Korra. This is Book 3, Chapter 10, titled Long Live the Queen. They are going to Ba Sing Se, and we know that Sahir, or the Red Lotus, they are gunning for like the world leaders, the Earth Queen included. So something is about to really go down there. Is the title just referring to, what you say when the previous queen or like the previous ruler has died and then a new one is elected and long live the, or is it?
Is it just a normal hailing someone?
Yeah, yeah, it could definitely be that as well. But I don't know. I just, in my mind, it has sort of an ominous feel about it.
Especially when you consider what happened, like what the last episode led to.
Very much. And we also know that Korra and Asami, they have been captured by the Earth Queen or the Earth Kingdom, and they totally did a Hannibal Lecter treatment on Korra there with the mask and everything. So who's gonna come to the rescue? What's going to happen? It's so interesting, this story at the moment, especially also because, and you already mentioned the previous episode, we got so much information about the Red Lotus and why they are doing things. There's still a lot of stuff we don't know, I'm sure, but at least we got some answers there. He was willing to talk to Korra and answer some of her questions. And then he thought that they had captured her and he was going to continue the conversation in the real world, in the material world. But alas, no, that did not happen, yet, at least. But I'm just ready to jump into it. How about you?
Yeah.
Yes, then let's do it. And you can, of course, always check out our full-length reactions where you can sync up the footage with your own copy of the episode. We also have early reactions for some of the shows that we're doing, including The Legend of Korra, where we are several episodes ahead. It's all over on Patreon, and the link is down in the description below. All right, let's go.
Before Korra could warn anyone, she and Asami were apprehended by the Earth Queen's forces, and the Red Lotus nabbed Mako and Bolin. Now both parties are headed toward Ba Sing Se.
Yeah, our heroes are kind of screwed at the moment.
You have to let me out! I talked to one of them in the spirit world yesterday. He's insane!
You're the one who sounds insane.
Yeah, I can see why you'd think that.
But she is the Avatar.
Yeah.
Between worlds.
I hoped Mako and Bolin would have shown up to save us by now. I wonder if they're okay.
No, they're in pretty much the same situation as you are.
Mostly I just made up stories about the guards, who was having trouble with his girlfriend, which one secretly wished he'd become a pastry chef.
Ooh, okay, that sounds like fun. Let me try that on you guys. You were raised by an older sister. Your mustache grew in when you were 10, and I'm sensing an unspoken attraction between you two.
2 out of 3. It's not bad.
Bolin, will you stop making friends with the bad guys?
Why not?
Kazan, gag those two.
Aww. No more fun.
These airships that Cabbage Corp sold to the Earth Kingdom are way cheaper than the ones Future Industries built.
Nice.
Yeah. She's so capable. I love her.
That's just shoddy workmanship.
The airship already left Fort Bosco and should be arriving in a few hours.
Excellent. Bring it to me as soon as it lands.
Yes, Your Majesty.
Excellent.
Fine, send them in. Ah, yes, I remember these two. So, where are my airbenders?
I'd be happy to tell you. Once you hand the Avatar over to me, you'll be in the midst of a sticky international incident. But if you let me take her today, no one need ever know she was here, and you can get your airbenders back without interference.
Smart play.
Send these two to the dungeon.
Whoa, okay. The quick way.
Yeah. Just open the floor.
Yeah. Fucking Rancor pit.
Behind you. Oh, I love her.
I think you might have been a little over-aggressive with the airbending.
Yeah.
Sorry, but it's not my fault this airship's a hunk of junk. Hang on to something!
Oh, fuck. And now they are just stranded in the desert instead.
No.
You're our prisoners, and it's our duty to transport you to the Earth Queen.
You realize that I'm the Avatar, right?
We have our orders.
Wait,
Wait.
did that sand dune just move?
The desert will play tricks on you.
Sandbenders.
Look.
Or... No, wait.
Crate dragon!
We want to fix the ship, right, Cap?
Mhm.
Let's get to work.
This is up to you. I know you can metal bend. You can metal bend?
Oh, yeah.
No. Yes, you can. Bowlin! 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 Bowlin!
Have to believe in yourself.
I can't metal bend.
Aww. Oh shit! Like,
Aww.
Tonrock, you read me?
Yes, we copy.
Meet me at the Misty Palms Oasis.
Tonrock. Any chance he's still with Zuko?
Maybe?
All right.
Oh,
Need to hurry? Oh, never fucking mind. All that work.
Sand shark?
As sand spirit fish.
I think it's gone for now.
You all right?
We might have enough material to construct a makeshift sand sailor, like the sandbenders used to get around. All we
Exactly.
need is a sail and some kind of sled to attach it to.
Smooth.
Send another airship to retrieve the Avatar immediately.
It's already on its way, Your Majesty.
What are we going to do now?
It's time to make her come to us.
Seize these hoodlums and throw them in prison until they decide to show proper respect for the crown.
Oh, you're gonna regret that.
Yep.
You wouldn't dare attack a queen.
You sure about that?
I don't believe in queens.
What?
Are they seriously doing this?
Take on a whim. But to your people, freedom is just as essential as air. And without it, there is no life. There is only darkness.
What?
Fuck.
They did that?
That was brutal.
What the f...
You can't be in here.
Minghua, please. We're here to help citizens like him, not hurt them. Now, can you help me?
The queen is dead. Long live the queen.
Oh, you're right. You're absolutely right about that.
From now on, you are free. I deliver Ba Sing Se back into the hands of the people.
And they are gonna take down the walls.
What the...
Holy
Whoa.
fuck.
What?
I did it!
No, that was...
But I metal bent all the other cells open!
I don't think that was you.
Nope.
I have a message that I need you to take to Korra.
Fuck. This is getting so intense.
Yep.
No time for a test run. Let's move.
I think you're right about it's a kind of a sand shark thing.
Yep. Yep, that's the sand shark.
I think he's gone.
No, he's gonna, yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, she's not getting swallowed up by another big ass spirit.
No. Is that where Lynn is?
You want to buy a slightly used sand sailor?
Nah.
You got a tough job.
Oh.
Good luck, Avatar.
Nice.
Captain, have we been in the desert too long, or is that really a dragon over there?
Zuko!
Oh, yeah.
Aww.
I met you when you were a very young girl. It's good to see you again, Avatar Korra.
Same
Good to see you, Lord Zuko.
Did you hear about the Earth Queen?
What about her?
Once again, the Earth Queen's reign has come to an abrupt and violent end.
I'm afraid this is only the beginning, Dad.
Ooh. Fuck.
Insane.
That was an insane episode. What the hell? Like, we've always talked about how bending can be used in more deadly ways than what they're showing us in the shows. But they're just not going to do it because it's not really kid friendly. And I think we've especially been talking about how an airbender would be able to just suck the air out of someone. And then they did it to the Earth Queen.
Yeah.
Or Sahir did it to the Earth Queen. That was so freaking brutal.
Yeah, I was not expecting they would ever show something like that. Like, ever.
No. And
I know,
like
they didn't, like, show her exactly dying, but, you know, it was...
They kind of showed her last breath in the way that, you know, the last, like, air inside of her body being sucked out and her eyes getting all red. And it's like, yeah, there's no mistaking that. She did.
Yeah.
They straight up, you know, just killed her on screen. It's... Wow, yeah. They really went there. The Queen is dead. And now Ba Sing Se has been... Well, it's... They say it's chaos and, you know, but that's what happens during a revolution. Now, I'm guessing since they brought the walls down, or Ghassan brought the walls down, then all of the poor people are rushing in, and we heard it on the radio, looting, storming the castle. It makes a lot of sense, and I don't know where I stand on this. You know, we're not a fan of, you know, violence and killing, but still the way things were in Ba Sing Se was, you know, out of balance, and with the rich and the powerful just totally taking advantage of the poor. And yeah, I can see where the Red Lotus and Sahir, like, I can see where they're coming from. And you even mentioned, and we talked about it in the last one, how, yeah, there should be no world leaders in that way ruling us. But then what does the world look like? And is disorder the only true balance? Yeah. Shoot, I know you have some feelings about that.
Yeah, but I'm so afraid of uttering them. Like, I know I'm gonna get a huge, like, lashback from people.
Backlash?
Backlash. Yes.
Lashback.
English.
Yeah.
I don't want to get into that. It was just like
it's very complicated.
The small part of me, or like the part of me that is anarchistic, just it felt so good, like seeing the walls torn down, and in a way I am rooting for Sahir, and also I just find that I'm oddly attracted to him. I think he's a very handsome guy, and I'm so conflicted all the time.
For an animated character, yeah, sure. And
well, that's supposed to resemble humans. So.
Yeah, I know. It is extremely interesting what he's doing, what they are doing, the messages that they're sending out, and even him going on the radio there and being like, yes, I am the one who took down the Queen. I am part of this revolution, but I don't want to tell you my name. I don't want any glory for myself. This is for you. This is for you to, like, this is a chance for all of you to grab. And even some of the people in the prison, immediately, they were like, that guy's my hero.
Yeah.
Like, he took out this horrible, horrible queen who's just been imprisoning us and doing whatever the fuck she wants to her people, especially the poor ones. And we know that, yeah, she was not a good ruler. She was not a good person. So getting rid of her, yes, that's a good thing. But where is it going to go? Where is it going to lead? And what's it going to mean for the rest of the world? Like, there's so many implications here, and it's very difficult to figure out exactly where it's all leading. But yeah, damn, that was such a good episode. And we do have, this time around, we do have some questions and some comments from Patreon.
I was just about to say very quickly that he actually, when Sahir was trying to, with the radio guy, and that, Minghua, right? So Minghua was holding the guy and was kind of threatening him, and he was like, no, this is not how we do it.
Yeah.
We are here to save people like him.
Yes.
We are here to save the people and liberate the people.
Yeah.
So we can't do this.
Taking upon themselves, the responsibility to liberate everyone, whether they know they need it or not.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, so many big things going on here.
Yeah.
But all right, let's get into it. There is there's a few, yeah. And I totally understand, why people have a lot to say about this episode. So, all right, from Eric Fielmish, I think that's the right pronunciation. I'm sorry if I'm butchering it. Hi, I really hope you like this episode. I think it's one of the best from this book. My questions are: what do you think are the political consequences of Sahir killing the Earth Queen? And should other nations, like the Fire Nation, fear the Red Lotus? That is, good question. And yes, they definitely should. By now, they are getting, the news. The entire world are finding out about what happened here. So that's going to make every other nation go like, what? We didn't even see this coming. All of a sudden, like the most secure, one of the most secure cities in the world just lost its leader. And it's been thrown into anarchy. Mm-hmm. No one saw it coming. And we don't even, we have no idea if an attack is imminent here. Are there other groups, splinter groups? What sort of a revolution is this? So I think the first thing that's going to happen is just pure confusion, and then every nation is just going to scramble and put up defenses and just try to protect themselves from this threat that they know is out there, but they have no idea what it's all about. Confusion, I think, is one of the first
Mm-hmm.
big consequences here. Confusion, and then just getting ready for something. And it's even gonna make a lot of people distrustful, a lot of the nations distrustful towards others. So once again, a clear yes, the other nations should fear the Red Lotus. Secondly, do you think Sahir's actions as an airbender have negative consequences for the whole air nomad community, as Aang and the Air Nation / Air Nomads are pacifists? Maybe. I do think if someone like Tencent gets ahead of it and can somehow send out the message that this guy who's doing this, if people even know, if it's a known quantity that she was taken out by an airbender. I don't think a lot of people know that, but if that gets out, I have a feeling that someone like Tencent can get ahead of it and be like, this guy does not represent the newly formed Air Nation. He's not an air nomad. He's simply an airbender who's doing horrible things, I was about to say, but at least, amorally things, or something that doesn't line up with being a pacifist, at least, because what he did to the Earth Queen, that's not very pacifist-like.
But we also know that at least the previous avatars, airbending avatars, they, or at least one, have been, they at least told Aang, the previous one, air nomad avatar, she told him that, well, I had to kill someone, because that was it was a life or death, or how do I explain it? But it was a necessity to kill someone, and then I did it, even though it was contradicting.
Yeah, I think it was more in the sense that you are, when she was talking to Aang back then about killing Osai, that you are the avatar now, so your responsibilities as an avatar outweigh your responsibilities as an airbender, as a pacifist. So that's why you should do it, even though you are an airbender. And Sahir is obviously not the Avatar. He's not of the Air Nation either. But maybe it is going to make some people go like, wow, the Air Nomads or the Airbenders, Air Nation, they're not what they used to be.
But it's still the same kind of deal, even though he's not the Avatar. It's like, you are still an air nomad, and even though you are the Avatar, you're still raised in this belief. And being an Avatar of the air nomads, you will also have to be like saying that this is a choice I did because I'm like an Avatar, and that outweighs my responsibility as an air nomad and being a pacifist. So you still have to make that clear stand. Like, you have to separate the things, just like as you say that, and I agree with that. Like, Tenzin can definitely come out on top if he says, like, I do not associate with him. We do not, as air nomads, associate with him. He's not doing it sounds wrong, but like proper air nomad stuff. Like, he's not embracing it in the same way that we other Jews. Like
he's
so
not
like,
a part of the culture.
No, and you like just separating himself or separating Sahir from the rest of the air nomads, and make very clear. I'm sorry, I just don't have the English.
No, it's all right. You don't have
vocabulary for it.
But yeah, and even though Sahir is very interested in air bending culture, Air Nation culture, and all the gurus that he's been talking about.
The
guru that he's been talking about, Lahima. That was the name, right?
Yeah.
Yes. But still, no, he's not behaving in a pacifist way, at least. So let's see what's gonna become of that. And then lastly, do you think Gassan and Minghua had a fling in the past? That was a fun little scene with Bolin just opening up and being friendly and just being Bolin and asking them, those questions or trying to figure out what sort of people they are. And I really like that interaction, and I like when we get those interactions also from that group, from the Red Lotus. It makes them way more human, and I think yes, they had a fling in the past.
Yeah, that was one of the 2 of the 3.
Yeah, Gassan. Yeah, 2 out of 3, and then that smirk that he did. So yeah,
it was the mustache and the fling, I would say.
Yeah, most likely. Maybe we'll never know, but that was a good scene. And then from Austin D. Welp, there it is. I'm curious if either of you knew this was coming. A lot of people like to hint at this moment, even as early as season 1 of Adler. Nope, we did not know about it, because we have one of the best moderators ever in Swiel, who's just protecting us from these spoilers and hints, at least with the YouTube stuff.
I think I might have had a conversation with someone about Adler and how this whole bloodbending thing, and then there was like something, he might have dropped the hint that there was something like that's gonna happen in Korra as well, or like later on in Korra. But I didn't pick up on it at all, so I was not expecting this
surprise, unique way that a bending ability that we already know about can be used.
Exactly, probably something like that, and I just completely forgot everything about it. So afterwards, I was like, "Oh yeah, maybe I actually had that kind of conversation," but I was still just not. I was not expecting this at all.
No, that came as a big surprise.
Completely out of left field, man.
Yeah, so that's a good thing. At least. And what do you think happens to Ba Sing Se moving forward? Sahir just introduced a big change. He really did. I have no idea what Ba Sing Se is going to look like going forward. Is it just going to be kind of disorder and anarchy for a while, and then it's going to settle back into some sort of order in a way? Democracy? Are there going to be like a council of people taking control, like from the poor districts? No idea, man. It's just so much is happening right now, so it's just very difficult to predict anything. But yeah, a big change indeed. And then from Shane Sadler, not a question, but 2 quick comments. I thought it was interesting how in Adler, killing Osai was framed as a good or at least acceptable thing because of how many characters were pushing for it. Zuko, Sokka, the old avatars, etc., just like we talked about. But here, killing the Earth Queen, who is also portrayed as an objectively bad leader, is sort of framed as a dark, bad thing. Yeah, I think it's...
We never got there in Atlas, so like I don't think this is aimed at us, at least.
No. Like not that we thought that it was a good thing that, or we thought that Osai should die in Atlas. We were always firm believers that if Aang can do this non-violently, or at least without killing him, that's the preferred option. But I think the difference here being that the why people are viewing this as more of a dark deed, so to say, compared to killing Osai is, even though the Earth Queen is horrible, she never invaded the entire world. Like, she didn't initiate, or she's not part of a 100-year war. She didn't do what the Fire Nation is doing, and most of the horrible stuff that she's doing is in secret. So she's not to as many people out there, as big of a bad guy as Osai. So I think that's why a lot of people inside of this world would accept Osai getting killed, and is not maybe going to accept the Earth Queen getting killed, if that makes sense.
Yeah, maybe it's just because I'm daft. But I don't necessarily see a big difference. Like, it's bad to kill someone, even though they're horrible leaders.
Oh yeah. Like, so... personally, I'm right there with you. I'm just thinking about how people are looking at this situation. I don't know in that world.
I don't know how people are looking at it, because...
No, we don't know yet, but that's at least just from the comment here, is what I can see happening, and I can see if people are going to be very mad about the Earth Queen dying, and if Osai had died, and they would have been okay with that, why, arguing back and forth, like, why would people accept one death over the other, even though both people are kind of horrible leaders? But anywho, yeah, that's just a lot of theorizing. Shane also has a last comment here. Also, I just thought it was cool how seeing the Red Lotus enter the throne room was almost like a mirror of the old Team Avatar doing it to meet the Earth King. That's true. Like, the way that they rushed in there and just took out a lot of the soldiers and the Dai Li and to confront the Earth King. Kind of got a mirror scene here. Then they just took it a step further and actually took out the ruler and not just injuring soldiers and whatnot. And then the last one from Lucas here. I really love the scene where Sahir defends the radio worker that Menghua is threatening. You already brought that up. It's a small moment, but it shows that Sahir is actually trying to help people and not solely interested in personal gain. Kind of supports the saying, villains are born from the excess of good intentions. So far, how do you think Sahir compares to the other villains in the Avatar universe? Is he one of your favorite or least favorites? I don't even know if I want to call him a straight up villain. I think that's the thing. He is the antagonist in this season, in this book, but he's not as clear of a villain as someone like Unalaq, who is definitely the most just one-dimensional sort of villain that we've had inside of the Legend of Korra. And like, he's more in the gray, and what he wants is very understandable from our point of view. His goals, even more so, I would say, than how someone like Amon went about things in the first book. So yeah, I just find him extremely interesting, no matter like how you want to label him.
Yeah, maybe maybe a vigilante, a little. I don't know. Yeah, it's like, but again, it's just, I can't hide that I am like, well, for starters, that I am like, I have a part of me that is anarchistic and somehow rooting for him, and I feel terrible by it. And then second of all, then incredibly attracted to him. So it's just, I'm so conflicted. But I like, in yeah, because as you say, he's shown so much humanity, and like, he's actually doing this. it's so hard because
it comes from a good place. And
and it's.
I think like a quote from another series that we just watched on the channel, not you and I, but I watched it with Major Dad, Falcon and the Winter Soldier. There was a quote in there, I don't remember who said it, but that one person's terrorist is another person's revolutionists.
Exactly.
And that is definitely how you can look at the Red Lotus and Sahir, because there are going to be people who will like root for him, and we already saw that in this episode. The people are actually like glad that someone like the Earth Queen is gone, that ruler is gone, and they're not feeling the same sort of oppression, and they're now gonna storm the palace and try to make the situation better for themselves. And then there are gonna be people who are looking from the outside in and just be like, oh, that was a terrorist that just took out the ruler here with violence. We have to fight that. And it totally depends on your point of view, where you stand. And I love that with a villain or an antagonist, where you really get like the human side of them.
Yeah.
And we're really getting that there, especially with that one scene that we've now brought up multiple times, with the radio guy, and him being like, yeah, we are fighting for the people, and him once again saying that I'm not going to say my name. I don't want any glory for this. Like, I did this for you. This is a chance for you, the people.
There is no revolution without being like blood being spilled. So it's just, I hate this so much, because I definitely do not agree with the way that he has gone about it. Like, I don't agree with like take out the leaders. I do believe in a more like democratic, if that is even applicable, but like a more like a you make the people decide what's gonna happen. So you make people like leaders, you make them step down by force of the people, instead of just like off with the heads, like the French Revolution, just bring out the guillotines.
Guillotines, or guillotines.
Guillotines.
However you pronounce it. That's definitely the violent and bloody way of doing it. But then again, like, how do you then initiate some sort of revolution if the rulers, they have such an iron grip on the world, and the people really, like, they can't really do anything. They can't band together. They don't have the tools to initiate a revolution. How do you give them the tools without just straight up going up and killing the world leaders? It's difficult. How do you start a revolution in a non-violent way? But just to answer the question, I don't know if he's like my favorite villain or antagonist just yet, but he's definitely not my least favorite. Like, he's way, way, way up there already. And we only have 3 episodes left, only 3 chapters left from this book. I just want this story to continue. And maybe it is going to continue over a little bit into book 4, because we know there are going to be a bit more connected than at least book 1 and book 2.
But just to like completely sum up, at this point, I think Sahir might be my favorite. But I don't know if Zuko counts, because if Zuko counts as a villain or like a...
He was an antagonist for like, or a villain for a long while.
Yeah, like way into season 3 of Atla. So
yeah.
So in that regard, he would be my favorite if we're doing like villain things. But since he actually, like, even though I rooted for his redemption arc and he actually went through everything. So I don't know if he counts as a villain.
Let's say he counts just in the same way that a character like Loki from the MCU. I would say he definitely still counts. Although like he's been both back and forth a lot. And I still really love a villain like Osai, even though he was very one note. But I also kind of like, those muhaha villains sometimes that are just straight up evil and just wants to fucking rule the world, destroy the world, envelop it in fire. And then it always helps with having a great voice actor like Mark Hamill. that might be it as well. One of the reasons why he's still one of my favorites. But when it comes to, very 3-dimensional villains or antagonists, then Sahir is just, way up there. And most likely, already our favorite of the entire, Avatar verse when it comes to those sorts of characters, except for Zuko, maybe, And speaking of Zuko, he showed up again towards the end of this episode. We saw the dragon outside there, and then leading into that scene with both Tonraq and Zuko and Lin sitting at a table. So now they've joined up with Korra and Asami. What's going to happen? How's that going to look? I'm so excited to just continue. So unless you have anything else, you want a teeny tiny thing. All right.
Talking about attraction.
Mm-hmm.
Asami can get it.
Yeah, she's like, if we are talking about, being attracted to animated characters, Asami is, Asami is bae.
Yeah, I'm also very attracted to her, but that's not odd, I think.
No, I think that's a lot of people will look at someone like Asami and go like, yep, she is.
You can get that.
Yeah, she can get it.
Oh, yeah.
And on that note, that's going to do it for this reaction and review of The Legend of Korra. Book 3, Chapter 10, Long Live the Queen. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you very soon. Bye.
Bye.